for braveheart, Tibetan Rangzen. He was a passionate patriot whose heart, mind, and imagination revolved entirely around Rangzen. Despite dedicating himself tireless to Rangzen campaigns, protests, advocacy, a deep sense of helplessness haunted him. He struggled with the pain of not being able to do more, not being able to produce the results he longed for, and for not being able to see the voice of Rangzhen receive the recognition it deserved. He stood proudly for Rangzhen and never wavered in his defense, even when our own community demonized it. It pained him that Rangzhen Pass were granted anti-Dalai Lama, not by China, but by fellow Tibetans. It frustrated him when the aspirations and the voices of Rangzen supporters were dismissed as nothing more than emotions and feelings. It pained him when Rangzenpa is treated as an inferior path and an inferior destiny for Tibet. For him, the lack of Tibetan independence was the root cause of the losses and sufferings endured by the Tibetans under the occupation and in exile. For him, Rangzen, the complete independence of Tibet, was the only solution to the pain of the Tibetan nation. For him, the Tibetan government in exile should pursue only one goal, Rangzen. For him, Choga-based divisions and those who fueled them were a source of deep frustration. For him, seeing His Holiness the Dalai Lama return to Tibet and witness the reunification of Tibetans inside and outside Tibet meant everything. For him, our identity as Tibetans and the stories of generations of sacrifices was sacred. For him, the resistance of Chushikanto against the Chinese infiltrators and occupation was a source of immense pride. For him, every Rangzen protest outside a Chinese embassy reaffirmed and strengthened his identity as a Tibetan. For him, Gorshe was a celebration of Tibetan cultural identity and an expression of community unity. I cry today because I was not able to answer what may have been the last phone call you wanted to make to me before the sacrifice. I cry because perhaps I could have been able to persuade you to live and continue the struggle rather than give your life to the struggle. I cried because we have lost our Ranzanpa. I cry because I fear our fellow Tibetans in occupied Tibet may never hear of your sacrifice. I cry because I fear our fellow Tibetans in exile may forget your sacrifice for far too easily. I cry today because your final cry of Rangzen may mean little to many, may be censored by many, may be unheard by many. I cry today because once again the shameless will continue to prioritize internal conflicts, divisions over Tibet itself. I cry because your sacrifice may never be given the importance it deserves by the very people for whom you set yourself ablaze. For Geshe Pawo Rangzen Loga, Rangzen was not merely a political aspiration. It was a lens through which he understood the sufferings of our people, the sacrifices of our ancestors, and the future of our nation. Allow me to grieve today so that I can strengthen myself for fight tomorrow. Your unwavering conviction, with deep love for people, and with an unshakable belief in the independence of Tibet, will find a continuous voice in each one of us, Rangzen. I can't promise you every Tibetan will remember your sacrifice and your conviction understood, but we will. May your dream of a united and free Tibet continue to inspire generations to come. Pögelo, Pö Rangzen Gilo.